This is one of my favorites. Hope it's one of yours. Joe Blasto, Blasto Mulira.
In the original Huttese. Cool. Joe Blasto,
Blasto Mulira.
Oh, more Wookiee fur and tree pollen?
Joy.
Hello, passengers, and welcome aboard for adventure 141 of the Grand Circle Tour podcast. My name is Justin, and I will be the mission commander for this expedition into the unknown. Joining me on deck are my two favorite co-hosts. To my left is Communications Officer Captain Stan Solo. And to my other left is our Navigation Officer and special guest from our Mandalorian Roundtable, Scott Clark. We'll start with you, Stan. How are you doing today?
I am awesome, but you already knew that.
How about you, Scott? How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you.
I am glad to hear that. So today's topic is we're going to talk about the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special that just debuted earlier this week on Disney Plus. Now, for those who are not aware, the Star Wars Holiday Special was a 2-hour-long television special that originally aired on November 17th back in 1978. And if you haven't seen it, don't. It's it's kind of a painful watch. It's basically a variety show structure with Star Wars characters, and it doesn't go well. But funny thing, this Lego version, the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special, also debuted on November 17th. So someone at Disney Plus is paying attention to their Star Wars history.
But you know what? If you do want to watch the original Holiday Special, I think the best version is one that we recorded the audio track for.
We did last year for the solo show.
Yeah.
We recorded an audio track, an audio commentary, as it were, of the Star Wars Holiday Special. So you can listen to that and get some of our takes on it, as well as some of the little bits of trivia and useless knowledge that I always try to bring to the table.
Mm-hmm. And the YouTube version, I think, is the better one, because I think it doesn't have in the corner the video or something.
Yeah, you put one up on YouTube, and you did get the video there without the audio from the Holiday Special, but just our audio track. So you see the video while you listen to us talking in that version.
Yeah.
And it's so much more entertaining listening to our version of it.
It is.
Actually watching it by yourself.
Yeah, I agree.
For a start, there isn't 20 minutes of unsubtitled Wookiee speak in our audio commentary.
It's us complaining about unsubtitled Wookiee conversations.
True.
So this year, Disney Plus put forth a Lego Star Wars Holiday Special, and it is not a recreation of the original Holiday Special. This is a new thing, although it does hit upon the concepts of Life Day and a few things that were introduced there. So we're going to do this like a regular review. We're going to start off talking a little on non-spoilery, giving our thoughts on it and all that. And then we'll go into the spoiler section. So let's start with the non-spoiler parts. And we'll start with you, Stan. What did you think of this one? Did you enjoy it? Did you not?
Well, okay, so I went in this kind of thinking it was going to be totally different than what it is. I kind of wanted to see throwbacks to the original Star Wars Holiday Special. I wanted to see a Life Day song being sung. I wanted to see a B. Arthur type scene, and we didn't get any of that. I was kind of disappointed. I watched it and I went, what are we watching here? This is a regular Lego Star Wars show. This isn't what I want. This isn't what I would have done. So I was kind of like, I don't know. And then I rewatched it for what it is. And I watched it a couple of times now. And each time I watch it, I actually enjoy it more than I did that first time I watched it. If that makes any sense, because now I know what it is. So don't go in thinking you're going to see B. Arthur and a bunch of aliens in a cantina singing and Carrie Fisher singing. None of that's in here. Not that I'm spoiling.
For as many references as they do pack into this one, you think they could have brought in a few more nods to the original. Like you say, like the B. Arthur character would have been a great nod.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting to see, and that's what I was wanting to see, was a few nods. There's a lot of nods to Star Wars.
And I will say, and again, spoiler free, if you are a somewhat casual fan of the Star Wars franchise, the sort of person who's maybe only seen the movies, you're going to get 98% of all of the references here.
Yeah.
This is not the sort of thing that does like the really deep cuts to, hey, do you remember episode 17 of season 1 of Clone Wars? This is just, we're really looking at the movies themselves.
Yeah. And they don't go into the novels or any of that. You don't need to know any of that type of backstory at all.
So that makes it easier, I think, for your casual fan to kind of pick up on what's going on and enjoy this. What did you think of this, Scott?
After seeing the previews to this holiday special, I enjoyed it. This is what I was expecting it to be. If it was anything like the 1977 version of the holiday show, I would have turned it off. I had a hard time trying to watch that originally, but this was everything that I wanted it to be and even more. So I enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it as well. I like a lot of the Lego humor that the people who make these Lego Star Wars properties have a lot of fun with it. You can tell they're people who love the franchise, but are still willing to kind of poke fun at it in a gentle, loving way, not in a mean-spirited way. So that's something I enjoy about all of them, and this one in particular.
Yeah, and that's the kind of the highlight of the Lego franchise for Star Wars, is that it's its own universe. It's Star Wars, but it's not Star Wars, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it is separate. Well, and when we get into the spoiler section, there's a couple of things to talk about there about its non-canon status. Voice work. One of the things, since there wasn't a lot of like really deep Easter eggs for me to dig into. So I did kind of dig a little bit into some of the voice actors for this, because there's kind of a mix here. We get a few characters who are voiced by their live action portrayers. So like Rose Tico, for example, is voiced by the actress who portrayed her in the live action movies. Anthony Daniels, of course, is back as C-3PO.
Well, Anthony Daniels, of course, he'll sue if anyone else does it.
Yeah, it is one of those things. He is always on board for anything. I
think if we did a C-3PO show, he'll come on and do the voice.
Some of the other actors are recreating their voice work from things like the Clone Wars. Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi, for example. The voice actors who portray them here also portrayed them in the Clone Wars. And then some of the others, like the Emperor, when we see him, he's voiced by an actor who voiced him in previous Lego Star Wars properties.
Yeah.
So
and he's like the highlight to me of a character.
The way they portray him in this is a lot of fun. And again, when we get into the spoiler section, we'll have to talk a lot more about him, I think. But otherwise, I'm not sure what more to say about it in the non-spoiler section. There's a lot to get into. So I think this would be a good opportunity to, if you haven't seen this yet, pause this now, go turn on Disney Plus, watch this, and come back, and we'll wait for you. We'll give you some time here. And then we pick it back up, and we can talk about
spoilers.
'Twas the night before Life Day in a galaxy far, far away.
Looking good. Tree, food, decorations.
Coming together heroes were to celebrate the day.
Please be a cape. Please be a cape.
It's a wrap! For Rey, adventure called, and she thought it would be fast.
Wow.
But there she found a key to the galaxy's past.
Sorry. Oh, Master Luke,
What are you doing?
this is so cool! We've
see my master? My master's master?
Concentrate.
My master's father?
Impressive.
My master's father's master?
Emperor Palpatine? I don't believe it! You think maybe you could put a shirt on?
It's a key to travel across space and time.
I will change the future.
So sure are you?
Less talky, more fighty.
Pod races.
Jigs! Oh, double jigs!
So cute.
Ooh, gimme! Galaxy's best emperor. Meh!
You thinking what I'm thinking?
Music!
A time of joy. This is
Hooray!
of friendship, of family.
Who are you guys?
Master Skywalker.
My son. I mean, these binary sons.
Junta solos?
You want to shoot first? After you.
And we are back. We are going to talk about the spoilers in this now. We're going to kind of go through this quite a bit point by point, but just to start with, I want to say I did not realize we were going to get a time traveling Star Wars film, but we got a time traveling Star Wars film.
Yeah, and that was what was weird to me, because I was expecting a Life Day Star Wars film.
And we did get some bits of Life Day, so that is something.
Yeah.
So we did get a bit of that. So, like I say, we're going to kind of go through this a little bit point by point. I'll try to keep things a little brief, but the opening titles, first of all, I liked how they redid the ones from that we've been watching every week on The Mandalorian, but with that little nod at the end of Rey's minifig head winking at the camera as the last helmet, I guess.
Well, and they redo it all because they're all Lego helmets.
Yeah, so they recreated the whole thing. So they are right up to speed on what's current in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah. I thought that was really cool. And the same music, everything.
Yeah, so that was a fun little nod. I really enjoyed that. So we start off, Yoda is going to provide our narration for some reason. And we can tell from what he's telling us that this takes place sometime after the events of Rise of Skywalker. He says that not only have the Sith been destroyed, but so have the First Order. Peace has been restored. Life Day can be celebrated again.
All is good in the universe.
I was like, what do you mean it can be celebrated again? Could it not for a while?
Yeah, well, like, when you look at, I mean, Lego Star Wars universe and Star Wars universe are two different universes, but they talk about it in The Mandalorian.
Well, yeah, and that takes place within it's like they've apparently been celebrating it. So I wasn't quite clear on what that meant, but
yeah. You can't read too much into Lego Star Wars.
Speaking of not reading too much into it, Rey is training Finn on how to be a Jedi.
Yeah.
Now, in regular Star Wars, that has not been confirmed. We got hints in the movies that Finn is maybe Force sensitive, and that's probably what he was trying to tell Rey all throughout the events of Rise of Skywalker. But this is the first time we've seen it just fully embraced on screen. What did you think of that?
I think I need to find out what batteries they're using on that probe droid, because that's still the same probe droid from the New Hope in the Millennium Falcon. Actually, even before that, I think they had that probe droid going around. My Bluetooth speaker that I bought 2 years ago doesn't even work anymore.
I did enjoy that little training scene, though. I mean, especially the way it harkens back to Obi-Wan training Luke way back in A New Hope. And I think that's kind of your first indication that we're going to have a lot of callbacks to these movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's fighting against that floating remote droid thing, whatever that thing is.
Training remote.
training remote. There you
Yeah,
go.
not sure why Han has one on the Falcon, but he does. Or Han did,
and now Rey does.
and now Rey does.
But Finn's not doing very well. And he tries to pass it off that it's because the Porgs are watching him. So we get the Porgs. They're there as well.
They're there. I was kind of hoping they would do a see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. The Porgs, the three Porgs, and then that would be like Craig Skaggs is a great friend of the show. He has that painting that he did of the three Porgs, and I was like, oh, it would have been so awesome if they did that. It would be like a complete tribute to what I don't know, be a tribute, whatever, but it'd be exactly what Craig had done in one of his paintings. I thought that would have been
I
awesome.
agree. That is a missed opportunity right there.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to point out is that Finn is using Rey's yellow lightsaber, which we basically never saw until the end of Rise of Skywalker. And it even has that extra power-up sound that her lightsaber made.
That's a great sounding saber.
Yeah, so that's, again, they are, for being Lego, there's a lot of attention to detail in this,
Yeah.
which makes it a little weird later on that we'll get to. So as I say, Finn's not doing well. Rey is concerned she's not a good teacher, and she doesn't know why. She's like, okay, I'm looking at all the books.
Yeah.
Going through all the books.
She's getting a little frustrated over all of it.
Yeah.
And poor Finn is like, well, are you sure I'm ready to be a Jedi? And she's not paying attention. She just says, hand me the lightsaber. And he's like, oh, I guess not. Gives him a stick.
Yeah.
I think I just got a splinter from my lightsaber.
Splinter.
But again, this is something we have seen training lightsabers like this used in Rebels back when Kanan was trying to teach Sabine Wren and having some of the same sort of difficulties of training a very new Jedi.
Yeah.
So Poe comes in and he has Rose, Chewbacca, he's got all the droids, R2-D2, C-3PO, BB-8, Dio. The whole gang is here and they are all on Kashyyyk to celebrate Life Day with Chewbacca's family. And there's your nod back to the original holiday special.
Yeah, that's about it almost. Is that they're on Kashyyyk and they're doing
Oh,
and he's
did you
gonna have-
like Poe's shirt that he had on? His nice little festive Life Day shirt with the little BB-8 on there.
Now, fun fact.
Yeah, that was a cool
Lego Star Wars has, or Lego has a Lego Star Wars Advent calendar. It's a different calendar every year. This year's includes that character with that ugly sweater BB-8 shirt
on Poe.
Wow.
Yeah, so that comes directly out of the Lego Star Wars Advent calendar for 2020.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
So like I'm saying before, Rose is voiced by Kelly Marie Tran, who portrayed her in the movies, and she gets more lines in this special than she got in all of Rise of Skywalker.
I didn't even caught on, but yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Now that you say that, yep.
So, Rey goes off to consult her text and can't figure out what to do. She tries to meditate. One of the books falls open and she goes, aha, if I go to the Jedi Temple on Korduku, a Jedi's path will become clear with a key to the galaxy's past, but only on Life Day. So she has to go right now. And everyone's going, you can't leave. It's Life Day. We're going to have this celebration.
We're going to have Tip Yip.
We're going to have Tip Yip. And okay, do either of you two know what Tip Yip is and where it comes from?
No.
Well, I know they serve it at Galaxy's Edge.
There you go.
I don't know.
Now, have either of you tried it?
It's what they're called. I haven't been to Galaxy's Edge.
Oh, okay.
I
So
have not.
But have you tried it? It's a Galaxy. It's like a chicken and rice type.
No. All I had is the Ronto wrap from Galaxy's Edge, so I haven't tried that.
Yeah, I've tried a couple of different things, but I don't. I've never had the Tip Yip. But I'm definitely getting it next trip. That's my bucket list item for sure.
Well, in Star Wars universe, Tip Yip is a chicken-like creature supposedly from Endor.
Yeah. And they say tip yip like 30 times in this scene.
Well, I'm surprised
also-
Chewbacca didn't want to have Porg.
Yeah.
Really
Chewbacca
came up
actually
with
stays a
Porg.
pork later.
Well,
Yeah.
no, he likes the porgs now.
They're his friends.
They're his friends now.
Yep.
So Rey goes off to Corduku and immediately finds this key to the galaxy's past. It's just hanging out there.
What was that mountain supposed to be? Was it a hand? Was it a Christmas tree? Was it a finger?
You know, it really did kind of look like a hand, didn't it? But they did have Christmas trees all around. Like
Yeah.
pine trees are native to the area. But yeah, it looked more like a hand to me than a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. Was
like
a
a
hand.
finger pointing up or something.
Yep.
It had a weird look, but nothing definitive.
Okay, so this is where we start getting our time travel element. This little crystal, wave it in a circle, it opens a portal to somewhere in the past.
Mhm.
And as someone who's played like Lego Dimensions, that portal, that's what it reminded me of right away, was the portal from Lego Dimensions, which is a video game if you haven't played that.
Never even heard of it.
It doesn't include Lego Star Wars, so that's probably why you've never heard of it.
Could very well be, yeah.
But it does include a lot of other franchises and such. And the whole point of the game is that you can travel to the different worlds with all the different characters. So you have Ghostbusters, you have Goonies, you have all sorts, Lego Ninjago, all of these different characters and worlds that you can interact with. And so it's kind of a fun game. But the portal from that just reminded me of the original portal / gateway from that.
Mhm.
But so first place we go, Dagobah. We see Yoda training Luke. And so that was kind of fun to see that from a different aspect, but also the Lego Star Wars aspect.
Yeah. And BB-8 goes with her.
BB-8 does go with her. That's a good point.
And this is what I found why I enjoyed this movie so much was all the time travel, bouncing back and forth and interacting with characters of the past movies. So this is what I really enjoyed of it. I like that.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And the way they're able to, like I was saying before, kind of poke some gentle fun at these iconic moments. You know, Yoda goes, do or do not, there is no try. And Luke's going, well, wait a minute, isn't trying a good thing?
Yep.
But Rey and BB-8 are attacked by some swamp creature, so they portal away again. Portal this time into the Phantom Menace with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon waiting to start their negotiations with the Trade Federation. And I loved Obi-Wan's line here as he's going, "Who cares about a trade dispute?"
Board.
And of course, that's like one of the classic criticisms of that entire film.
Yeah. I like the portal, the exit she does that one underneath the table, where it's just like a little egg, and they kind of crawl through it. They just create this tiny portal to get out of that one.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Of course, they had to get away because the gas had started to fill the room, so that's how they get out of there. Then we're immediately taken to Coruscant, and Obi-Wan and Anakin now are in the elevator on their way to see Padme.
And this is
And
Yep.
I like, Anakin has like these flowers. It's like, what? Oh, what?
Are you excited to see Padme again? Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
And again, these are the same two voice actors who portrayed these characters in the Clone Wars. So that's a nice touch there. And so next stop, Yavin 4. Again, we're back to New Hope, just starting the trench run. And I loved this scene because it was a total recreation of the scene of these X-Wing fighters starting, going in to start their attack on the Death Star. It was like perfect recreation done in Lego. Did you guys catch that?
Oh yeah, 100%. It was like the perfect Lego commercial. Is what it was. That whole clip. The whole show is a Lego commercial. Who are we kidding?
Yeah. But like I say, I really enjoyed so many of these recreations like that done in the Lego form.
Yeah, the detail's amazing.
Yeah, they really knocked it out of the park with all of this, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
So Rey and BB-8 end up in the cockpit with Luke as Force Ghost Obi-Wan is saying, "Use the Force.
Let go."
Yeah.
And I don't think Luke would have used the Force and let go if she didn't tell him.
Yeah. He's like, you're in the way of my tracking computer here. So we see the Death Star blow up and and Han Solo coming in to save the day, and Darth Vader goes spinning off into space. Meanwhile, back in Kashyyyk, Poe is trying to cook the Tip-Yip with the Millennium Falcon's engines.
It's like everybody in Star Wars now cooks with engines ever since Galaxy's Edge opened.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We saw this of course, in Mandalorian not too long ago, a couple episodes back.
Yeah. It's like this is how everybody cooks their food now.
So Rey is like, oh my God, we can go watch all of these Jedi Masters training their students. So that's how I will learn to be a better teacher.
Yeah.
BB-8 is like, no, let's go back.
She still hasn't mastered the key yet, but she's still kind of like randomly going places, but she catches on pretty quick.
She does catch on pretty quick, but she's like, okay, just one more. I have a good feeling about this. And here we see our Emperor Palpatine for the show. Now, this version is voiced by the same actor who voices the character in a lot of Lego Star Wars properties. And this is a different style than what you see of him in, say, the live action films.
Yeah.
This is a lot more cartoonish evil, and I particularly enjoy this take on the character. How about you two?
Yeah, I enjoyed the comedic part of him, his personality. He has a lot more personality in this. Yeah.
He's a lot more outgoing in the Lego world. I was actually at a comic convention one time, and Pablo Hidalgo was there. This is right when Disney purchased Star Wars, Lucasfilm. And one of the first things they did was remember there was this comedic series that was supposed to come out called George Lucas called them the Squishies, but that's not what they were called. The Death Star was supposed to be a mall. It was like a comedy of Star Wars, an animated series.
This is vaguely familiar to me. I'm vaguely remembering this.
Yeah, and Disney canceled it. They were already filmed. There was like 9 episodes already filmed in Canada and ready to go out, and Disney canceled them. They didn't want kids growing up thinking that the Star Wars characters were funny, and that Darth Vader was a comedic and all this and that. So I asked Pablo Hidalgo why was it canceled. That's what he explained to me, that they didn't want it to be like kids growing up, their first appearance of Darth Vader is that Darth Vader is a comedian or he's the imbecile. Like, well, wait a minute, what about Lego Star Wars? That's how he's kind of portrayed there, and the Emperor is portrayed like a very different. Yeah, but Lego's different, he said. They can get away with it. I never understood what the difference was, but
I suppose it's partly because Lego is a toy. I mean, so it's almost more like someone playing with the toys as opposed to being canon within the universe or anything like that.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? It was called Detours. It was Star Wars Detours. That was the name of the animated series. And they never aired. They never were shown in any convention or nothing. Only clips came out.
Yeah, I don't recall that.
Yeah, you search Star Wars detours on YouTube, and you'll see these little clips that were released. They're still out there, but the actual shows were never released.
I will definitely have to check that out.
Yeah.
All right, so we get Emperor Palpatine and Darth Vader roughly Return of the Jedi era with Death Star 2. And of course, Darth Vader's going, well, what about a better name? What about like Star Killer Base? And,
Yeah,
that's a stupid
that was
name.
a good nod.
Yeah, not very original.
A little derivative, don't you think? Some of the best jokes are by those two in particular, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, you know, Vader then gives Palpatine a Life Day present. It's a mug that says Galaxy's Best Emperor, and he complains, but I'm the only emperor.
Yep.
What a stupid gift.
Hey, man, it's the thought that counts.
It is the thought that counts. They also use this more or less this exact same gag in a previous Lego Star Wars series called The Freemaker Adventures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I find it interesting that Vader's celebrating Life Day, even though the Emperor squashed Life Day, and that's why they couldn't celebrate it because the Empire wasn't allowing it. But yet Vader's still buying Palpatine a Life Day gift.
So, Rey and BB-8 show up in the background. They're quickly discovered. They start to portal away. The Emperor sees it and throws his mug through the portal. And Vader's like, hey, had to go to every gift shop on Batuu for that. So another shout out to Galaxy's Edge there.
Yep.
And of course, the Emperor's like, me wanty, you giddy, and shoves Vader through.
Shoves him in.
Yep.
Vader
But
gets
again,
confused.
I love the characterization of the Emperor in this. Just his way of speaking, even of just this totally comedic take on what an evil emperor would be like.
Yeah.
So then we cut back to Kashyyyk again. So we get to see Chewbacca's family from the original holiday special walking in. And they don't really introduce them. But I mean, it's obviously supposed to be Mala, Itchy, and Lumpy.
I was kind of looking at him. I wasn't thinking I couldn't tell for sure if this was Lego reincarnations or not.
I think it is just basically supposed to be Lego versions of those three characters from the holiday special. And of course, we don't get any subtitles for their speaking
No,
either. Fortunately, we also don't get 8 minutes of it.
Yeah. So why was the Emperor or whatever the Empire droid there? Like they were setting him up as a disco ball light type thing.
BB-9E, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they're using him as a decoration.
Yeah. Why was he there to begin with, though? That's the part I couldn't quite put my finger on. He seemed out of place.
Well, this goes back to something that one of the producers said about this early on, is that they looked at how kids played with these characters.
Good point. Yeah.
And they said what the kids do is they'll take all these characters from all the different eras or whatever, and they'll just play with them all together because they don't care. They don't care that this one's from A New Hope and this one's from Rise of Skywalker and this one's from Empire or whatever.
Heck, when I was a kid, I had my Battlestar Galactica figures playing with my Star Wars figures.
Yep. That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, fair enough.
So I think that's kind of part of the design and story elements for this, is kind of taking that concept.
Mm-hmm.
But it is kind of a neat little Easter egg there that we got poor BB-9E from the Empire hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah.
That's his reincarnation life of being a disco ball.
That's what you get for being evil.
Yeah.
So now Vader has the key and is trying to activate it to do another portal, and Rey's fighting him. They activate another portal. They end up on Hoth.
Mm-hmm.
And as they're fighting, another Darth Vader walks in with some stormtroopers.
Yeah. I enjoyed the interaction between the two Darth Vaders. That was pretty entertaining.
That was hilarious. And just like I said, I didn't know I needed a time travel Star Wars movie. I didn't know that I needed Vader fighting Vader.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad I got it.
And
it was enjoying.
On the lightsabers was really cool. That was so well done.
So that was definitely a lot of fun. And now open up another portal. A couple of the stormtroopers go through along with everyone. So we're starting to pick up characters.
Yeah.
So we end up on Mustafar during Revenge of the Sith with Anakin and Obi-Wan fighting each other on those floating platforms. Everyone drops onto some more floating platforms. They fight and they fight and they fight and they fight until they open up another portal. Now all of them go through
to our favorite spot.
And everything stops as we start to hear the music of The Mandalorian. And everyone looks at Baby Yoda and goes, "Aww."
So cute.
So cute.
Yep.
I love that. And so that's obviously from the end of like season 1, is there? Because they've got IG-11 is carrying Baby Yoda.
Carrying Baby Yoda, yeah.
So they fall through there. They end up in the Phantom Menace on Tatooine.
In the pod racing.
During the pod racing. And they did bring back the announcers, I think, are just sampled directly from that film, talking about the Sebulba and Anakin in the pod race.
Mm-hmm.
Open up another portal. They all go through. Now they've got the pod racers.
And the sound effects they used for the pod racers were bang on. They got them, I mean, obviously they have access to all the sound effects, but Sebulba's pod racing engine is a very distinctive sound. And again, tip of the hat to the details.
Again, yeah, absolutely. The details in this are amazing. Okay, then we get a couple of clone troopers voiced by D. Bradley Baker.
Mm-hmm.
We pick them up. They're on traffic duty. One's got a coffee. The other one's got a donut. Did you guys notice that?
Oh, I didn't catch the coffee and donut.
No, I didn't catch that either.
Yeah. But I like how they think the same. They speak at the same time. Jinx, double jinx.
Yep.
Double jinx.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. So was I. Weird. They don't realize they're clones, I guess.
Yeah.
So next stop is Exegol from Rise of Skywalker. During that big battle scene, they pick up some more stormtroopers. And suddenly, now they're just kind of falling through all sorts of eras. We don't know, kind of off in the background. You see Han Solo, you see all these other characters. Everyone drops through onto Tatooine. It's A New Hope. Luke is at dusk looking out at the twin sunsets, and everyone drops in.
You got the binary sunset theme with John Williams just starting.
Oh, and of course, Luke is drinking from a carton of blue milk.
Because of blue milk mustache.
Now, I wanted to point out on this as well. You can tell I'm a Lego guy, right? The new video game from Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. If you buy the deluxe edition, now it's not out yet. It's going to come out next year, like spring. But it comes with a minifig of Luke from A New Hope with that little carton of blue milk.
Oh, cool.
How many?
Wow.
So there you go. There's your plug for the new Lego Star Wars video game that's coming out.
Yep, a little product
2021.
advertisement.
Lego and or Disney is free to pay me money for that little plug. So everyone drops through, and a big pile of this is what they called the bucket drop moment, where they empty out the bucket of Lego.
And you got X-Wings and TIE Fighters and Darth Maul with no legs and Hans and Greedo and
I like the comments between the
jokes.
Yeah, I
ahead.
like the comments. I like the comments between the two Han Solos. You know? Yeah,
What did you first?
exactly.
And
Yeah.
then they both shoot at the same time.
Oh. So then young Luke comes over to Rey and Vader fighting, is going, "Who are you guys?" Vader's like, "My son. I mean these binary."
It's nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, so where are we here? So they fight and they fight and fight. Luke, Vader, and Rey fall through yet another portal and end up back on the temple. Vader takes the key, portals back to the Death Star 2.
And takes the mug with him.
And takes the mug.
The key and the mug. Yeah.
The key and the mug.
And he's in episode 8 with a shirtless Kylo Ren.
Yeah. Because Palpatine wants to see his future. He wants to see himself ruling the galaxy and forever. So he's like, well, let's see. Where am I at in about, say, 30 years? And amusingly, I did look this up. Return of the Jedi takes place in 4 ABY. The Last Jedi takes place in 34 ABY. It is literally 30 years apart in the Star Wars universe.
And it's amazing how Palpatine figured out how to use his key like immediately. Like he knew, let's go 30 years. And that's where it took him. Like Rey was just doing random places.
Not only that, I thought the whole point of this is that she could only do this in the Corduku Temple on Life Day. And he's out on Death Star 2.
When you're time traveling, it's always Life Day somewhere.
Yeah.
So we get Kylo Ren shirtless, sliding in like he's in Risky Business. Celebrating his new title as Supreme Leader.
Mm-hmm.
So it took me a little while to figure it out. But so yeah, this is just in that very narrow window of time in The Last Jedi, after he's killed Snoke, but before what's her name hyperspace drives through the ship.
Yes. Yeah. and Vader and Maul are in the closet, or Vader and the Palpatine are in the closet.
Yeah.
One's breathing and one's talking. I'll let you figure out which one's which.
Oh, so General Hux comes in and is a little distracted by Kylo's shirtlessness. Then Kylo discovers them and he's happy. He's happy to see the Emperor and Grandpa Vader.
Mm-hmm.
But then, unfortunately, has to explain that, yeah, Emperor, you don't actually rule the whole galaxy at the moment.
Yeah, then he explains to him how Darth Vader threw you into the reactor.
Down there, Jeff. Yeah, Grandpa.
Yeah.
So like he starts going to Kylo. So do you have a lightsaber? Do you have a mask?
My mask is broken.
Yeah, I broke it.
Which again, it's like attention to detail. His mask was broken then, and when they fix it, it looks exactly like it does after he fixes it in the later movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And by any chance, would you betray your master and throw him down a reactor shaft?
Yeah. I would not throw him down a reactor shaft. The flashback to Snoke was amazing at this point.
Yes.
Poking all this gentle fun at the franchise is just the highlight of this entire thing for me.
Yeah.
So as Palpatine's getting his new apprentice back at the party, Finn and Rose have called in for reinforcements. So we get Max Rebo shows up. We get Lando Calrissian, voiced by Billy D. Williams, even.
Yep.
Maz Kanata shows up, asking for her boyfriend. And I'm like, Mala is right over there, lady.
I forgot that. Yeah, that's right. Well, it's the same way. It's the same way as Ahsoka Tano and Cara Dune, my girlfriends. My wife is just upstairs.
Wishful thinking, Stan. Wishful thinking.
And then we get Greedo. Did you catch what Greedo says as he comes into the room? He yells out, McClunky!
Is that what he says?
He does. He says, McClunky, which again,
is from
for those who don't know, that was one of the more recent additions to the Han shoots first scene in New Hope when it was released on Disney Plus.
I missed that.
Yeah, I didn't catch that.
Yeah,
I caught that. I laughed.
that is a good addition.
Zori shows up from The Last Jedi. From Rise of Skywalker.
Yep.
With Babu Frick and enough tip yip for everyone.
Yes. In carbon freezing, no less. To transport it.
And then, speaking of characters who should be dead by this point, Admiral Akbar is also there, so he can do his little joke of "It's a wrap."
Yeah, it gives Lando a cape.
And if you wanted your Life Day song, Finn obliges by singing Jingle Bells in the original Huttese.
They should have done the Life Day song at this point. That's where they could have fit it in.
They really could have fit that in there.
Yeah, that would have been a nice touch.
All right, so now Palpatine, Kylo, and Vader are back on Death Star 2. Vader's gone off to is being sent off to go pick up Luke down on the planet.
And Kylo and Palpatine are hitting it off. Best buds.
So Kylo is pointing out, you realize this is exactly the sequence of events that leads to Vader throwing you down the reactor shaft. And there's no coming back from that.
Yeah.
I caught that. That was awesome. That was a great line.
But it's all fine. And back on the Korduku Temple, back in the Jedi Temple, Rey is, I failed. And Yoda shows up as a Force ghost to try to show her what she's missed. And it basically boils down to, she is a good teacher. All teachers fail. But part of what makes this work is not just the knowledge and the training, but the connection, the friendship.
Mm-hmm.
There is your Life Day lesson, everyone.
But I like how he gives examples of Jedi and Jedi apprentice being friends. But it's like Obi-Wan and Ben. Well, they end up basically trying to kill each other. There's a couple of them there that were like, well, wait a minute here. They turned on each other, these two.
This would have been a great opportunity if they could have had Kanan Jarrus and Ezra Bridger as one of them that they had shown.
Mm-hmm.
And again, they were clearly trying to stick to just the movies, but that is probably the best example of a Jedi Master and his apprentice who are also really good friends.
Yeah, I think so.
The entire franchise, in my opinion.
Yeah, a lot of the masters and the apprentice don't get along. Like Ben always was arguing with Qui-Gon. They weren't the best friends normally.
Yeah.
No, then Anakin
and Ahsoka were also really good friends. But again, they're trying to stick to the movies. Sorry, what did you say, Scott?
No, the same thing with how Anakin and Ben, they always had their conflict, especially before Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
Even in the Clone Wars, I always thought that Anakin and Obi-Wan they weren't as close of friends as it's implied in the movies later on. Like, they were such great friends, and it's like they were kind of sniping at each other the whole time, I felt.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
But Ghost Yoda says you got to be friends with your
So Luke helps Rey figure out that they can use all of the crystals in the Jedi Temple and open their own portal and start setting things right.
Mm-hmm.
So they show up on Death Star 2. By now, Vader and Luke from that time shows up.
Jedi Luke.
Jedi Luke. And Kylo's like, I don't mind throwing Uncle Luke down the reactor, but do I have to throw Grandpa Vader down too?
Yeah.
And Palpatine at this point just wants to destroy everyone. He's like, let's just get rid of everybody and I'll just rule the galaxy myself.
Yeah, so they're all fighting, and he's like, okay, fine, destroy the girl, then destroy Skywalker. And if Vader shows up, destroy him too. And Vader's like, wait, what? What did you mean by destroy Vader too? Okay, you want to destroy me. He wants to. I'm not sure whose side I'm on.
Yeah, Vader's getting ganged up on here for sure.
Yeah.
This is not a good day for Vader. So let's see. They all fight each other, and Kylo puts down his lightsaber and reaches his hand out to Rey, just like he did in The Last Jedi. Join me and we can rule the galaxy. And the Emperor's going, wait, what? And he tries to take the key, and it flies past him, just like the lightsaber did at the end of Force Awakens. And he's like, I should have seen that coming.
Yeah, he just experienced it a couple days ago.
So yeah, so they're getting a lot of nods to those movies in here during the fight, and finally he's like, the Emperor's like, just destroy everyone. I will take the key and I will destroy everyone. You can't defeat me alone. And she's like, I'm not alone. And
Jedi Luke there.
So then we got Luke. Yeah, Jedi Luke is fighting for the key, and Rey is fighting for the key, and Palpatine's fighting for the key, and Rey tells Luke, hey, you remember your first lesson? Let go. The key knocks down Vader.
Takes out Palpatine and Vader at the same time.
It's a twofer.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. So they win. BB-8 grabs young Luke. Rey's going to take him back to where he belongs and start setting things right. And old Luke is like, don't you want to see what happens? I already know.
And by now, Rey's now a master of using this key. She's able to put anybody anywhere that she wants.
And Vader, of course, he picks up Palpatine to throw him down the reactor shaft. We see his Lego skeleton as he does that. And he changes into his own Life Day sweater.
Yeah.
Which again, Lego Star Wars Advent Calendar has that character. There's your plug.
There's your plug. I meant to get that Advent Calendar this year. I ended up getting a cheese one instead. So, I get a cheese a day.
Cheese one.
I get a cheese a day.
But yeah, so the Emperor's falling. Vader throws the mug after him. And as he's falling, he's going, this is actually a pretty thoughtful gift. It's a Life Day miracle. I'm not going to be mean anymore. No more dark side.
A little too late.
Little late there, bud.
I love how he's falling and the two stormtroopers watch him as he goes by. they look down and sitting on this what is like a
platform or whatever.
Platform with no railings.
All right, and so back on Tatooine, young Luke is back where he belongs, looking up the sunset. Rey, you can see the portals going on in the background as Rey's putting everyone back where they belong. Finally, they all go back to Kashyyyk to celebrate Life Day, and Rey gives Finn her lightsaber to cut the tip yip, which he does.
Mm-hmm.
Also cuts the table in half.
Well, she also returns the key where it belongs too.
She did. Yes.
At the end, she's no longer a Doctor Who character. Traveling all over the place.
Well, because that only works on Life Day, remember?
I guess so. Yeah, that's right. It's always Life Day somewhere when you're time traveling. So yeah, it starts to snow outside. They all go out to see the snow, and everything is happily ever after. And we see Yoda closing the book. And did you notice his weird outfit? No.
He's got a bowler hat on.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yes. Yeah.
That is a nod to Sam the Snowman, the narrator.
Yeah,
Classic,
that's right. Yep. I remember
Okay.
that now.
voiced by Burl Ives.
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome. I did not catch that at all. Good catch.
So there we go. That is point by point through that whole holiday special. So what did we like? What did we not like about it?
Well, I guess when it comes to Christmas specials or holiday specials or Life Day specials, what you have to ask yourself is, or you have to, I rate them by, am I going to watch this every year? Is this going to now become an annual tradition? Like we mentioned the Burl Ives Frosty the Snowman. I pretty much watch that every Christmas. I watched the Charlie Brown Christmas special every Christmas. Elf, pretty much every Christmas. Am I going to watch this every year? Probably not. I don't see myself watching this next Christmas. What about you guys?
I might watch it every Christmas. Maybe not every Christmas, but at least it's one that I would consider in my Christmas rotation. Just because it's a lot of fun. I enjoy this kind of humor. I think because they stuck so much to just the main 9 films for their references, it's going to hold up over time.
Oh yeah, for sure, we'll hold up. Scott, what about you? Is this going to be a rotation?
Yeah, I'd watch it definitely. It was entertaining, like Justin said. It was a nod to all 9 movies. This was entertaining. It was funny. It had its jokes in there, that the stuff that kind of went wrong in the movies or people complained about. They laughed at themselves about it. So yeah, I would watch this definitely, probably around the holidays every year. It was good. It was fun.
Well, I'm going to email you or message you next Christmas and say, hey, have you watched the Star Wars Holiday Lego Christmas special yet?
Well,
hey, as long as Disney
there's like
Plus
a group
keeps on
watch
having it
feature
on there.
Disney Plus now. We could watch it all together next year.
Yeah. We should have done that. We should have done that this year. We should have watched it all together.
That would have been good. Yeah, we should have done that.
Yeah. We haven't even tested that yet. Have you guys tested that yet?
I have not.
No.
We should do that sometime.
Yeah. I keep on forgetting about it.
Oh, that new system that they're doing, what you could watch, friends could watch it at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we should try that with one of the Mandalorian shows too.
Yeah. Are you able to chat with each other while you're watching, or what's the purpose of it?
We'll have to figure that
I
out.
don't know.
Yeah. Like, I don't understand what the purpose of it is, really. You get to watch it at the same time. Okay. There must be a chat feature or something.
There must be.
Yeah.
But with that in mind, I think we're about at the dock, so we will end this episode. It's running a bit long anyway. But we had a lot to talk about. So let us know, listeners, what you thought of this as well. And with that, take it away, Ken.
If you would like to keep the adventure going after the show, be sure to like our Facebook friends page, Grand Circle Tours Magical Ticket Holders. While you're on Facebook, like our group page, Grand Circle Tours. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Grand Circle Tours Podcast, as well as on Instagram, GCT Podcast, and our YouTube channel, Grand Circle Tour. If you would like to email us, drop us a line at gctpodcast@gmail.com. T-shirts and other fun merchandise can be found at tpublic.com. Simply search Grand Circle Tour Podcast. If you enjoyed your adventure, leave us a review on Apple Podcast. Only one rule, make it good. All logos, sounds, songs, and music that are made by and for Disney and its affiliates are the full ownership of the Disney Corporation and are not, nor are they intended to be, the ownership of the Grand Circle Tour Podcast. Thank you for riding with us, and welcome home.